Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's time for what I watched in October, and if you like horror movies, this is the video for you. Now, obviously, my two uploads this month, Friday the 13th Ranked, and the Scream sequels, and why I think they are really good. They take up a lot of these movies, so I'm going to fly through those. Just watch those videos if you want to hear my opinions on those movies. But I watched plenty of other horror movies, so don't you worry, there's still plenty of stuff here. A good few 2022 releases as well, especially towards the end of the video. But this month I actually started off by watching the 1968 classic, Night of the Living Dead. This is one of those movies where I feel it couldn't live up to the hype. I had actually never seen this movie before. You can actually watch it on YouTube. It's a very famously documented movie with regards to the rights to the movie, and it is in plenty of movies because no one ever really secured the rights to the movie, so it is fair usage or something, I don't know. It's in the public domain anyway. But yeah, this is obviously a groundbreaking classic, the originator of zombie movies. It's a classic. I then watched About Time, I watched Scream, Scream 2, Friday the 13th 5, A New Beginning, Scream 3, Scream 4, Friday the 13th 6, Jason Lives, Friday the 13th 7th, New Blood, and then I watched Chopping Mall, finally a movie I can talk about because I've not already talked about it already, and I don't really like talking about movies twice in two videos that are like really, you know, one after the other. Chopping Mall is a lot of fun. It's a proper sleazy, standard low-budget 80s horror movie about these killer robots and these teenagers who are stuck in a shopping mall. Chopping Mall. It's a lot of fun. It's on Amazon Prime. Go give it a watch. It is by no means the greatest movie ever made, but I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. I then watched Friday the 13th 8, Jason Goes to Manhattan, Friday the 13th 9, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. And then I watched Bullet Train, 2022 release. Let's go. I am really lacking on my 2022 releases as of late. November is a big month for that. This is one of those really fun, funny, colourful action movies with good music, akin to like a Baby Driver. It's got fun editing, it's got fun performances, especially Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Brad Pitt, and Brian Tyree Henry, to name a few. Like, fine, if we're talking technicalities here, the ending's not perfect, but like the fact that they gave the water bottle its own origin story, that was pretty funny. Yes, it's slightly too long, but it's a really, really fun action movie. Highly recommended, especially if you liked Baby Driver. Absolutely go and give Bullet Train a watch. There is a little inkling of Edgar Wright in this movie. He's probably got, I don't think he has anything to do with it, but he's a little bit of inspiration for this one, I feel. I then watched Emperor's New Groove, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake, and then I watched A Nightmare on Elm Street. Absolute classic horror movie. Genuinely disturbing still. The effects still great. One of my all-time favorite final girls in all of horror for certain. The pace of this is just incredible. It's an absolute horror masterclass. Wes Craven is a visionary. Yes, the ending is not amazing, but other than that, it is just an absolute masterclass. And the ending doesn't ruin the movie or anything. Like, it's still a movie I will be rewatching all the time, but yeah, absolute masterclass with a lackluster ending. And then watch Final Destination, some 2000 horror fun. And yeah, that's the best way to describe this. It's just dumb fun. Like, it's not a very clever movie. It absolutely loves a bit of foreshadowing, so it does. It's got Stan in it. Do I need to say more? It's a lot of fun. Final Destination, the original, it is a lot of fun. It's a really fun horror movie, and it's very 2000. I then watched Sinister, which, you know, is that movie that is scientifically proven to be the scariest movie of all time. It actually is scary, I'm not gonna lie. I was shitting myself. Scary movie, no doubt. Ethan Hawke is great in this movie. Just the one thing myself and my girlfriend couldn't stop laughing about with this movie is the fact that it's a genuinely disturbing, scary, scarily edited, really scary music. Really scary demon. His name is Bagul. It's just funny. Bagul, like, yeah, because that's intimidating. And the kids call him Mr. Boogie. Like, come on, give him a better name than that. But otherwise, Sinister is a truly disturbing, really scary horror movie that I definitely recommend if you're into your horror movies. It is really, really good. It builds suspense so well, and the ending is fucking scary. I then watched The Battle of Algiers and Babel for college, and then I watched Child's Play, and yeah, it is a lot of fun. Chucky, great character, one of the all-time great horror characters. He is really funny. I know he gets funnier in the sequels, but he's even funny in this one with the few kind of quips that he has. The effects are great, especially burnt Chucky. Jesus, that is disturbing. And that car scene with Chucky and the detective is fantastic. One of the best scenes in the whole movie. Child's Play. It is a really, really good 80s horror movie. I then rewatched X because I then watched Pearl. By the way, yeah, X, I actually preferred it the second time I watched it. Hence, it's got a higher score than the last time I watched it. I can change my opinion on things. So be it. I preferred X second time round. But Pearl never really hit the heights that X did for me. I think that Mia Goth once again gives a fantastic performance. She is great. She hopefully is going to become kind of what Anya Taylor-Joy and Samara Weaving were to the horror genre. Samara Weaving still will be because she's in the new Scream. But hopefully Mia Goth is kind of like one of these poster girls of horror movies because she is really, really good. Yeah, Pearl, it's much more small scale than X. It's a very different vibe. It's definitely more disturbing. It's more creepy, more unsettling, no doubt. But I really like kind of the fun of X, and I know obviously like I enjoyed Sinister. I don't only look for fun in horror movies, of course, but I just feel like with Ty West directing both and editing both, I feel like his style just complements X more than it complemented Pearl. Regardless, Pearl is a good horror movie. 2022 is a fantastic year for horror movies, and I cannot wait to see Maxine. I then watched Bodies, another 2022 horror movie. Yeah, this is fun. I like this for sure. My biggest takeaway is that Rachel Sennett is a fantastic actress, and I will be watching Shiva Baby soon because she is really good in this. Pete Davidson is good in this. You know, I like Pete Davidson as an actor. The final act kind of drags, but then the actual ending itself is really, really good. I love when a horror movie just gets the ending spot on. Like, they just get the ending right. And yeah, this couldn't have had a better ending, I actually don't think. But the final act itself does kind of drag. I love that this kind of feels like a 2022. It's inspired by Scream, obviously. It feels much more authentic than any of the other teenage horror movies that have come out. It's a funny movie as well. I feel like this movie has really, really great dialogue, really realistic, funny dialogue, mixed in with really eye-rolling, cringe dialogue. I know that's annoying to say, but I feel like the dialogue wavers between really clever 2022 how people actually speak dialogue, and then there is bits that just made me groan. Overall though, I actually genuinely think, having seen obviously the ending to this movie, I think on a second watch I actually will prefer the movie now that I have the full context. But yeah, Bodies, it's a fun horror movie. Great year for horror, what can I say? Then of course I watched Barbarian. Holy shit, this movie is good. I absolutely loved this movie. Possibly my favorite horror movie of the year. It's between this and Nope. I think I'm actually leaning towards this though. Barbarian is fantastic. It's 3 acts, for me anyway, are all great. The first act is so good. It's hard to talk about Barbarian without spoiling it. Please go watch this movie. Do not watch the trailer. Do not look at the cast. Just watch this movie completely blind, and you will thank me for it. Because I watched it relatively blind. I hadn't seen a trailer, but I knew who was in it, and that kind of took away. It didn't really take away, but it kind of took away because obviously you're sitting there thinking, oh, I've seen the cast of this, and it's not adding up. But don't even look at the cast. Just go straight in. And yeah, I can't spoil this movie because I want everyone to see it. But it had one of my favorite comedy scenes, and this is a scary, creepy, disturbing horror movie. But this had one of my favorite comedic scenes of the year, involving a tape measure. That's all I'll say because I really don't want to spoil this movie. Barbarian is fantastic. Please go see this movie. It is so worth the hype, for sure. Then I went to the cinema and I watched Chamber of Secrets because it was in the cinema. not every day you get to see an older movie in the cinema. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Yeah, November is assignment season in college, so I'm gonna try my best to get the uploads out, but you're gonna have to forgive me if they aren't amazing. Obviously there'll be a what I watched in November. I'm gonna try my absolute best to get videos out in between. Just depends on these assignments. It's essay season, guys. Essay season is a lot. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, as I said, and yeah, I will see you soon, hopefully. Thanks.